day, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday, January 28th, 2023. I am here at my Metal Investors Forum in Vancouver. I'm here with Blaine Monaghan. He's the CEO of Pacific Ridge. Pacific Ridge is one of the companies I invited to present, and Blaine will explain to you why. But to give my version of it, Pacific Ridge is working on porphyry projects in BC. They've had a lot of success. They put out great holes from 2 projects this year. Last year, 2022, they're going to be drilling 3 projects this year. Can you just kind of give us maybe a quick thumbnail of what you guys achieved last year?
Yeah, very busy year, Eric. And first off, thanks for having us here. I appreciate your support. Pacific Ridge, as you know, our goal is to become BC's leading copper gold exploration company, and we've put together a portfolio of 5 copper gold porphyry projects. Kliyul is our flagship. We launched a 7,000 meter program there last year. It was the largest ever drill program at that project. And the real goal of our program last year was to demonstrate it has size potential. It's seen historically a limited amount of drilling, and we did a small campaign in 2021, which was our first ever campaign there. The grades are strong. The widths are long. It has good grades, and when you compare the higher grade intervals and grades to other similar deposits and mines in BC, we think the grades stack up favorably. So then it's always just a matter of size. Can we get it to the sort of size or demonstrate it has a size potential that it has the potential to become a mine? And that was really the goal of this year's program. And we were successful. We've now outlined a mineralized body that measures about 600 meters by 350 meters to 600 meters in depth. So volumetrically, it's starting to get to that sort of tonnage where it's getting interesting. And again, that will be the focus of the 2023 campaign, that's fully funded. We'll continue to look to expand that body.
Well, I think you did some work this year, geophysics as well. And the interpretation of that geophysics gives you guys a lot of confidence in terms of the growth potential outside of where you drilled.
Yeah, absolutely. Very interesting. So we did an MVI, or for lack of a better word, some magnetics, which seem to be closely correlated with mineralization. And it's outlined a pretty big footprint of about a 38 hectare footprint. And we've drill tested only about 5.5 hectares of that.
Okay.
So we think there's a lot more potential for this to get considerably bigger. So we will be focused on that again in 2023. And then, of course, we have RDP, which is option to one of the world's largest copper miners, Antofagasta. They funded an 1,800 meter program at RDP in 2022. And one of the holes was one of the best intercepts we'd seen from BC last year. So I think that will set the stage for an even bigger drill program next year. But we're still waiting for the green light on that one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have Chuchi, which we acquired from Centerra last year. So we'll be allocating $5 million in exploration dollars to Kliyul for about a 7,000 meter program. And we're allocating $2 million to Chuchi, which should translate to 1,500 meter, 2,000 meter program there. And we'll wait to see exactly what sort of funding Antofagasta will be able to provide for further drilling at RDP, which I'd be surprised if they didn't, but we still haven't gotten the green light yet. Yeah. So conceivably 3 drill programs, I think that's likely.
Okay, and at Kliyul, I mean, obviously you're focused on the main zone and the expansion potential there. Is there any chance of a drill hole or 2 anywhere else along the trend? Because one of the interesting things about Kliyul is, I mean, obviously the potential resource that you're drilling off, but there's some pretty interesting looking targets along that trend. You sort of have this southeastern trend that's several kilometers.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we're thinking about a 7,000 meter program at Kliyul next year, I think you'll see us split it up a little bit, maybe 45 to 5,000 meters in the Clio main zone proper, and about 2,000 to 25 meters testing some of these other targets. So you're right. I mean, last year, in addition to looking to expand the size potential of the Clio main zone, we did do some IP over several targets that occur along that 6 kilometer long mineralized trend.
Right.
And we will absolutely test at least 2 of those targets next year. The Ginger, which is a little bit to the northwest of Clio main zone, and Parish Hill Back Ridge, which are a little to the southeast. And that's important. I mean, Kliyul main zone historically has seen the most amount of work, and it's what we've been focused on. But it's important not to put your blinders on and just keep testing one area when you have other targets, because ultimately, these targets could have the potential to add tonnage or potentially be even better. If you never test them, you don't know. And I always point out Saddle North with GT Gold is a perfect example. They were drilling out Saddle South, and then eventually they tested Saddle North, and that's what resulted in almost a billion-ton discovery. So it's important not to ignore some of these other targets.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like you're going to have a busy year. Is there any more reporting to come from 2020? Is everything pretty much out there, or?
No, there'll be some more news. This will be related to some of those other targets that occur along that trend. I mean, we're still interpreting some of the IP, and we'll be looking to make them like 3D. Right. So we'll have some more to say about some of these other targets that we will look to drill next year. And of course, I mean, we're still finalizing what our exploration plans are. We just reported the last 6 holes from Clio last week. So there'll be more news regarding what we plan to do, what we plan to test, not only at Kliyul, but also Chuchi, which we're permitting right now for that drill program, the targets we plan to test there, and then obviously the plans for RDP. And one of the other things we're working on right now is we have made the required exploration expenditures to earn into our 75% interest in Kliyul, and Centerra would maintain a 25% interest. I would like to acquire that remaining 25%. I think it would give us a lot more optionality and flexibility if we own Clio outright, and that's something we're working on right now too.
Okay.
In addition, of course, I mean, we have 5 copper gold porphyry projects, and you may see another one.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, from a more or less standing start 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago. Really.
I became CEO in January 2021. And we were a 5-cent stock and no capital and a couple copper gold porphyry projects, and now we have 5. We've got a great management team and board. We're well capitalized and having great exploration success. But it was also timing. Again, like nobody really cared about these sort of projects, 2 to 3 years ago, and now they all do. So we're very happy we have the projects we do, because I think they're going to become increasingly more valuable as time goes on.
Yeah, there's nothing like $4 plus copper to get people to pay attention. And you and I and quite a few other people are pretty confident about what the forward price graph is going to look like for copper. I mean, I suspect copper is going to get to prices that are going to surprise a lot of people, just because there's no way to get the supply required without going to those price levels. You can't make it happen unless the copper price goes up significantly. So obviously, big copper bodies like the ones Pacific Ridge are drilling off, they get a lot more valuable fast as the copper price goes up. So
and plus the gold, I mean, gold is 5% away from all-time highs. I think ultimately copper and gold will reach new all-time highs this year.
Yeah, I would agree with both of those statements, which is nice because we might make some money from it. That'd be good.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for coming by, Blaine.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't want to get between you and your hot dates. So,
thank you.
We'll end it here. And thanks, ladies and gentlemen. So Pacific Ridge Exploration.
That's correct.
It's PEX on the venture, and I think it's PEXZF on QB in the US.
Yeah.
Great story.
Thanks
very much.
Thank you. Thanks again.